Good evening. I am Dr. Jessica Guerrero. I will be your instructor for anatomy this term. I'm super excited to work with you, and I appreciate you signing up to take this course with me. There are a couple of things that I want to cover. I realize that this is before classes started, but just so that you have an idea about the checks and balances of the course. Anytime that you email me, I need you to please and thank you put your first and last name in the subject line, as well as your course, which is anatomy, so ANAT 260, and then a dash with your section. So are you OLA, OLB, OLC, whichever, but please identify yourself and your course section so that I know how to handle your questions. You and I will be able to communicate not only via email, but also through the Remind 101 messages. On the first day of class, you'll get your first message from me, maybe even this weekend. It just depends on, sometimes I don't want to bombard you with information, but you will begin to get text messages from me, and you and I can, for quick conversations, can communicate through Remind. If it's something substantive, like you need questions about your grades or an assignment or something like that, you're going to need to send that to me in an email because it's going to take time for me to answer it. There's no thread in Remind for me that tells me you've replied to this student and you haven't to this student, and so on. So Remind can become very convoluted if too many students are texting. So if it's a quick question, Remind. If it is a substantive question, it needs to go through email. The lab portion of our course is going to be done utilizing the application Complete Anatomy. If you want to go ahead and download Complete Anatomy, it should, on the left-hand side of Blackboard, you should be able to click on Getting Started with Complete Anatomy. And the username is going to be your West Coast email address. And your password will be 3D4 medical. So the number 3, capital D, the number 4, then medical with a capital M. And I will also put this information underneath this video link. During the first week, I'm going to ask that everybody meet with me via a Blackboard Collaborate meeting so that I can walk you through how to do those labs. But I will have links already posted in the announcements to help you get started with Complete Anatomy. Each week, I will post weekly resources. If you look on the left-hand side again in Blackboard where it says Instructor Resources, Instructor Lectures, and Weekly Resources, you click there and I will have the PowerPoints that I use to lecture along with lecture videos that I've posted on YouTube. You can either watch them through Blackboard or you can watch them through YouTube. There's a playlist and you can watch those lectures. If you don't learn really well on your own, for me, I can't read and learn. I usually forget what I read, but I do learn better if somebody talks to me about it. And if you do prefer to read and learn on your own, you definitely do not have to watch those lectures, but I do put them there for you to make the material just a little bit easier to comprehend, because you do have a lot of material to cover each week, as this is technically, by definition, it's a 10-week course, but it's over in 9 weeks. The discussion boards, every week you have a discussion board. Your initial post is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. to count for attendance. You must respond to 2 of your peers by Sunday. You may not respond to 2 peers on the same day. If you're only doing 2 responses, they have to be on separate days. Some of you are really good at discussion boards and you engage with multiple people, which is actually a really good way to study. I set the discussion boards up to be a little bit different this term to kind of reinforce the material. But if you're only going to respond to 2 peers, they must be done on different days in order for you to get full credit. You must also cite all of your references. So if you reference one of the video lectures I have, you must cite that. If you are using your textbook, you must cite that. If you're using a random website, you must cite that in the APA format. Also, on that first day of class that I have us meeting together, I will go through what the discussion boards should kind of look like and how to post If you are unsure about APA format, I will help you as much as I can, but we have a phenomenal librarian, Kyle McLaughlin, and we can get you in connection with him. He has quite a few little quick courses that he can help you with, because I will tell you that most students do well in this course until it comes to the citations, and especially with the projects or the signature assignments, that's where they become borderline failing. So don't get caught up in a plagiarism situation. Let's be proactive on that with the APA citations. For this course in anatomy, every week you have to take a quiz that will be proctored by the Respondus Lockdown browser. You do need to have that installed on your device. It must have a webcam, and it will be needed by the first Sunday, which is the first due date of your week 1 quiz. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Please make sure that that's taken care of. If it is the day that the quiz is due and you message me and say, hey, I can't get this to work, there is not anything that I can do on that. You do have up to 3 days to submit an assignment late, with a 10% additional penalty each day. So if that's the case and you just hadn't gotten the technology or you weren't set up for the course, you do have those 3 additional days for that. Each week, I will have multiple office hours or tutoring hours where I'm available to help you. I try very, very hard to make myself accessible. I try to respond to your emails and messages in a timely manner, in a safe, timely manner. So it's usually not immediate, but I do try to, especially the first 2 weeks, I tend to answer much quicker as you get set up and going. But after the course kind of starts going on, I have up until 48 hours to respond to you. I usually definitely respond within 24. On the weekends, I tend to lose service as I go to tournaments. So I make it a point to walk out to my truck to check emails if I can, but it's not that I check them all day long or have access to your messages all day long. So if you're in the situation where you work during the week and you do all your assignments on the weekend, please understand that I'm just not that accessible on the weekends. I'm very accessible during the week. And my office hours and tutoring hours are during the week. And you can join a group one, or you can ask for a private one, and I will have all of that information in the announcements for you to have access to. Just one more time, I want to reiterate the fact that all assignment deadlines for that week are Sunday at 11:59 p.m. If it's at 12:01, it's going to count it late. Okay, so just make sure time management wise, you're spreading yourself out and that you kind of have a plan of attack. When we meet the first course meeting, I will be happy to suggest a time management plan that has worked for multiple students and helped them succeed very well in this course. And if you want to take it, great. And if you don't, that's fine as well. But my goal is that you succeed. And bottom line, this is a really intense course. And so we're going to have to work together and we're going to have to communicate. But please understand that I'm very professional in my communications. And so if you're panicking or you're freaking out or you're getting upset, I'm responding in a very calm and collected manner. Okay. So again, time management is going to be key. Communication is going to be key. And I just wanted you to kind of get to know me so that, or at least hear me speak so you can kind of fill out my personality. I'm excited to work with you this term, but I work full time. I have a family. So I know what it's like. And I also go to school. So we're all busy. We just have to work together. All right. Thank you again for signing up for this course. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I will see you during week 1 when we have our first class meeting.